sought to put together a program that would introduce you to Egypt and its complexities and its subtleties. And you cannot understand Egypt without understanding the critical role that our armed forces play, and the pride that we take in them. The Egyptian armed forces history goes back all the way to pharaonic times. It's one of the largest military forces in the world, and if I'm not mistaken, the largest one in Africa. And it's therefore truly an honor for us to have had His Excellency General Mohammed Al-Assaf, Minister of Military Production in Egypt, take the time out of his busy schedule to come and address our group today. His Excellency General Al-Assaf is a war hero, who fought in the 1973 war as part of the Corps of Engineers, who's spent his career in the military forces, responsible for Egypt's armament. As you see, when he takes the stage, he is a very calm, soft-spoken gentleman, but with a reputation as a fierce negotiator. He has been the one responsible for negotiating with the United States, with Russia, with France, regarding Egypt's armament. He's a member of the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, which played a critical role following the revolution in January 2011, and again, following the protests on June 30th, 2013, the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces really was the entity, a critical role at the time in negotiating and settling some of the disputes and resolving some of the problems that foreign investors, and in particular groups from the Gulf, from Saudi and the UAE, had faced in Egypt. So, he's someone who's very, very familiar with the issues of challenges relating to projects and investments, and how to solve those, and how to facilitate and encourage investment in Egypt. There is no doubt, that there are times and there are types of situations and types of projects where the state has a critical role to play, and where involvement in industrial development has been critical. And the same is true, I think, for Egypt at this critical phase of its economic reforms and its restarting of its economic growth.
I think, as someone who is a firm believer in entrepreneurship, I take a look at the armed forces, I take a look at the government of Egypt, and for me, this is the catalyst. This is what puts forward the foundation that allows us to take our first step forward. And without such critical infrastructure, it would be extremely difficult.
How much of it is just for internal use, and how much of it is exported, where you're working with your African partners in the marketplace here and globally, from a driver of business? How much of this is actually able to be exported across the globe?
Thank you for your question, because it is my concern. I would like, we haven't, unfortunately, we haven't exports to African countries. I would like to have exports, and I just spoke with my friend Hisham about the mechanism, how we can seize this opportunity for your presence in Egypt in order to develop mechanism for communication, in order to have markets in your country full confident about our products, and we will have to have opportunity for your countries in order to see our products. Welcome.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for being here and for your presentation. I guess I have a question that follows some discussions we had with Egyptian industrialists at the Chamber of Egyptian Industries, the Chamber of Industrial Industries, I believe, was due to meet with you to express those concerns. So how does the ministry react to such concerns? How do you work with the Egyptian private sector? Thank you.
As I said, you remember, as I said, that we are totally open to cooperate. We have a lot of avenues of cooperation with our private sector. We have already joint projects with a lot of private sector companies. We are working with them. We are welcoming at any time to share with them. I had gone to the Union of Industry in order to tell them about our willingness to cooperate with them. Because at the end of the day, we are industry and they are industry. We have to integrate, not to be contradicting. And if we are competing with them, it is good for the customer, for the Egyptian citizen, to find options, but not to have contradiction or conflicts. We can cooperate, we can integrate, and we have already on the ground a lot of projects that we can have some operations in their factories, and they have other operations in our factories, and we are benefiting together. Is it satisfactory for you?
Excellency, I'm Patricia Veringa. I'm coming from the DRC, Kinshasa. And my question is, because I've seen you produced a lot, and excuse my ignorance here, where does the raw material come from? Where does the resources, steel, cobalt, whatever, where does this come from? Because we are, as you might know, a producing country. So I would be interested to know where you get all these resources from. And who knows, eventually we could also deliver. Thank you. I'm from the private sector, by the way. Yeah.
Okay. We have we have from all sources, from China, from Europe, from Africa. We are welcoming to cooperate with you. If you have better sources, we will have from you. So I am asking again to have mechanism of cooperation, to have contacts, to exchange of contacts, and to know how to communicate with you, how to call you in order to ask for something, and vice versa. If you would like to have something from us, you can call us.
Your Excellency, hi. I'm Alex Zapolsky. I'm an entrepreneur from France. I would like to know, so I'm part of the digital sector, and I would like to know, so what you do in digital sector, what do you do in terms of cyber defense, for example? So do you have plan, investment, and the way we could cooperate and help Egypt to develop his own skill and in digital sector? Thank you.
Thank you very much, because I already missed to mention that we have a very good IT center sharing. The main task of this center is to provide the IT facilities to all our companies, but they have the potential and the capacity to support a lot of civilian projects. We are responsible about several projects very important for our society and for the Egyptian citizen. And it is very important to cooperate. If you would like to, we need such cooperation with your entity in France, because cybersecurity, for example, is very important, very challenging. You know, most of the systems operating, a lot of domestic systems are operated by IT, and we have to protect it. You know that a lot of attacks and hijacking from, we have been hearing a lot of news about that. So we have to protect our facilities. We ask you to cooperate with us in this field. Thank you very much.
I think in the same spirit of the question that have been asked, you have talked about the cooperations with the other African countries. So which type of cooperation should it be? Will it be from, as you are a state company or a state entity, will it be from your entity to a state entity, African country?
We have the investment laws here in Egypt, very excellent laws in order to permit us to have a joint venture or to have any way of cooperation with either the private or public sectors in Egypt and abroad. We are totally open. And I have been receiving a lot of foreign visitors to Egypt coming to our ministry, and I am repeatedly telling them that we are open to have, for example, if you have a French company or any company, to have a line of production inside our factory with their name, with their brand name. If they would like to have a joint venture with us, welcome. If they would like to provide us with some materials in order to be implemented in our factories, welcome. Any way of cooperation, we are welcoming.
My question is just the impact you have had on the youth unemployment. Do you have a particular strategy? Because I saw you have some of the technical and vocational schools or training. And how have you measured that impact to see how much impact you have had on youth unemployment, or any specific targets you may have?
Unemployment is very, very, very important issue in our country. And you know that the unemployment is totally attached to the terror, and we have been facing the terror in our region, in our country, and in our region, of course. So the best way to have opportunities for our youth to have. So it is the best way is to establish projects and to establish factories in order to give them the opportunity to have labor chance. So it is our goal and our objectives, and we have been working 24/7 for this, to achieve these goals. Thank you very much.
Ministry of Military Productions, National Organization for Military Production. 65 years since 1953 till now, the factories of the National Organization for Military Production have participated in serving the Egyptian economy with its products and advanced technological facilities, which have served all the state sectors in the industrial and agricultural fields, as well as the environmental sector, in addition to its potentials to manufacture critical spare parts using the latest programs and reverse engineering technology. This is carried out in the Science and Technology Center of Excellency, STCE, along with the military production companies present more than 1,200 civil products covering all fields, which are distinguished for their high quality and heavy duty. Tanks Production and Overhauling Company, Factory 200s. Production of skid steer loaders, overhead cranes, electric vehicles, trailers, containers, fuel tanks, and equipping medium and heavy fire trucks. Abu Zabal Company for Engineering Industries, Factory 100. Production of steel slabs and blocks. Hot-rolled steel slabs of thickness up to 6 millimeters. Cold-rolled steel slabs of thickness up to 1/2 millimeters. Special steel alloys to sustain high stresses, factory equipment and fittings, recycling waste materials and producing industrial gases and different spare parts. Banha Electric CNC fine milling machines. Tin plate printing machine. Helwan Company for Diesel Engines, Factory 909. This company was established in 1963 to produce diesel engines. In the meantime, it produces power generating units with power ranging from 4 to 55 kilovolt ampere. Different types of engine alloys, agricultural tractors, and equipping mobile workshop vehicles for the project of youth graduates, and the company does have a developed designing center which is equipped with the state-of-the-art designing and manufacturing computerized program packages. For non-ferrous industries, Factory 63. This factory was established in 1954 to produce aluminum, copper blocks, and strips and plates of red copper. Moreover, it produces all types of wires in all sizes and high voltage conductors. In addition to the sprinkle and drip irrigation systems, home utensils, and aluminum sheets for different purposes. Heliopolis Company for Chemical Industries, Factory 81. This company was established in 1952. It produces formaldehyde, hexamine, and urea formaldehyde. It has a factory of resins. It also has an ultra-modern factory for manufacturing chairs for stadiums and courts, in addition to a modern plant for manufacturing special paints for protecting and maintaining ships, marine and riverine units. It also produces paints that resist erosions, corrosion, and salts for painting buildings on the shores and coasts. In addition to the aluminum pastes and powders, caoutchouc and rubber products, and protective equipment and clothing. Maadi Company for Engineering Industries, Factory 54. This company was established in 1954. It produces equipment for waste recycling factories, radiators, medical equipment, sport equipment, in addition to the depth water pumps and automated gates and air pressure guns. Abu Qir Company for Engineering Industries, Factory 10. This company was established in 1954 in Alexandria. It produces the shotgun cartridges, semi-automatic bakery lines, aerosol containers, and special tin and aluminum printed containers for liquid and food packing. In addition to producing equipment for waste recycling factories and automated abattoirs. Abu Zabal for Specialized Chemicals, Factory 18. This company was established in 1949. It produces dynamites, safe liquid explosives for quarries and mines, road and tunnel excavation using the technologies of cautious explosion, in addition to the potentials of careful underwater explosions. It also produces nitrocellulose, which is used in manufacturing paints and inks. Shubra Company for Engineering Industries, Factory 27. This company was established in 1954.
مؤتمر بيجي في إطار سعي وزارة الإنتاج الحربي لتوسيع قاعدة الصناعة وتوسيع قاعدة الاستثمارات في مصر. المؤتمر الغرض منه إن احنا بنبحث مع الدول الأفريقية توسيع الشراكة ما بين مصر وما بين الدول الأفريقية في مجال الصناعات بصفة عامة، مجال الصناعات الحربية بصفة خاصة. وكنا بنستعرض منتجات وزارة الإنتاج الحربي في جميع المجالات وخصوصا المدنية منها.
شوازيل انستيتيوت مؤسسة فرنسية بحثية وأكاديمية وليها علاقات في الدوائر السياسية في باريس. والحقيقة المبادرة اللي قام بيها شوازيل انستيتيوت هو اختيار 100 من القادة الشباب والشابات في القارة الأفريقية. والحقيقة المبادرة دي بدأت من 2014 والهدف منها توثيق العلاقات ما بين سواء سياسيين، اقتصاديين، علماء أو اجتماعيين في القارة الأفريقية، بهدف أنه يعني كل العالم بيراهن على القارة الأفريقية، قارة شابة، ومن الضروري توثيق العلاقات بين البلاد المختلفة.
ده اللقاء بتاع مؤسسة شوازيل الفرنسية عن أقوى قيادات شابة، 100 قيادة شابة في أفريقيا. وإحنا في مصر يعني النهاردة بيسعدنا إن إحنا بنستضيف القيادات دي هنا لأول مرة. التصنيف ده مستمر بقاله 3 سنين، أنا على لسه بقالي 3 سنين الحمد لله.
مؤتمر من أهدافه الرئيسية هي تنمية الاقتصاد مع القارة الأفريقية، فكل الحضور من دول أفريقيا متعددة، وزي ما حضرتك شايف طبعا مجموعة من الشباب. المؤتمر بدأ فعالياته من امبارح وإن شاء الله مستمر النهاردة بإذن الله، وينتهي فعاليات النهاردة بتوزيع جوائز على شباب المستثمرين الأفريقيين عشان خاطر كخطوة لتشجيع الاستثمار في أفريقيا.
اجتماعنا الأسبوع ده في القاهرة هو اجتماع احنا مدعوين من مركز أبحاث مصري، عفوا مركز ابحاث فرنسي اسمه معهد شوازيل، وده كل سنه بيعمل تصنيف لانجح الاقتصاديين ورواد الاعمال الافارقه، وبيحاول يعمل اجتماع عشان يجمعهم كلهم في نفس المكان. فالسنه دي معمول في مصر ودي اول مره يتعمل هنا، ودي فرصه ممتازه الحقيقه ان احنا نقابل بعض، وان احنا كمان نقابل رواد الاعمال المصريين والقطاع الخاص المصري والحكومه المصريه ونفتح امكانيات التعاون معاهم.